You know, music producers and beat makers spend countless hours watching videos on new equipment, plugins, tutorials, etc., but barely touch videos about the music business or marketing or branding. Now, if you've ever wondered why that is, or if you're guilty of it yourself, I mean, I've been guilty of it. That's why I'm making this video, right? Because I've been guilty of it myself, and I'm sure there's others. So we are definitely not alone in perpetuating the watching of tutorials over and over and over again. But here's the truth. We often stay in our comfort zone, chasing the next sound, the next skill, the next piece of equipment. And we always, I want to say always, man, that's a flat assertion. Maybe not always. Mostly, most of the time, we miss the big picture, which is actually turning our craft into a career. Look, once again, I absolutely get it. I understand. As someone who makes YouTube videos like I'm doing right now, as someone who makes YouTube videos catered to music producers and beat makers and music creatives and entrepreneurs in general, I understand the need to make videos that people want to see. I get it. Y'all want to see videos of people pushing buttons and sliding faders and chopping up samples and creating beats and doing all those things. But I also recognize that there are videos that producers need to see. It would be easy for me to just crank out tutorial after tutorial, which is why you don't find a lot of those on this channel. We talk about the music business, educational things to give you resources and tools to help grow your career. I mean, once again, I could do tutorials. I could do gear reviews after gear reviews, right? And deep dives into the latest production techniques. But the reality is a lot of those things just has nothing to do with the actual progressing of your music career. I'm just being honest. It really doesn't have anything to do with the progression of your music career. While learning all of these new productions, techniques, and skills can be valuable, it's just one part of the equation. Yeah, your beats got to be dope. I get it. But it's just one part of the equation. The real game changer is in understanding how to monetize, how to market, how to brand, how to position yourself as a producer in today's industry. Because let me be honest with you, anybody, everybody can be a beat maker, quote unquote, AKA, whatever you want to call it, a producer, right? Anybody can be that today. I want to talk about why this happens and what you can do to get out of this phase, this rut, this place that you find yourself in, watching tutorial after tutorial, gear review after gear review, etc. So my first point that I want to talk about is just the comfort zone of creativity. Music making is fun. Trust me. I love making music. I mean, y'all don't really see me actually make a lot of music, but I make music. I got tons of equipment. I don't do it on camera for all to see. There's reasons why, right? Which is one of the purposes of this video. I mean, it's why I got started. It's probably why you got started in the first place. It's just a natural excitement in learning the new technique, testing out that new synth, buying that new piece of gear, flipping that new sample in a way that you've never done it before. I mean, it feels productive. And in many ways it is. I don't want to discount the fact that it's not. But when it comes to learning the business side, understanding contracts, registering your music for royalties, right? Promoting yourself, branding, marketing, all these different things, that can feel like a chore. It feels like, man, this is an extra duty that I got to do. Why can't I just sit and make beats? It's less exciting than just dialing in, that new drum pattern to the MPC of the machine, etc., or experiencing with that new effect. I get it. And because of that, we push all of that business stuff to the side, convincing ourselves that, we'll just figure it out later. But producers tend to gravitate toward creativity because it provides that instant gratification, while the business knowledge requires patience, persistence, and discipline. Many start out as hobbyists. I'm sure you probably did. You started out as a hobbyist, maybe not, right? But somewhere you began focusing on just making beats rather than figuring out how to monetize them. And by the time you really consider making money from this, right, you're probably already stuck in those creative habits, right? There's also the fear that focusing too much on the business will make the music feel like a job rather than just an enjoyable passion. Now, this mindset, of course, leads many to put off learning the essential industry knowledge that you really need to learn, really leaving you vulnerable when opportunities do arise, which is why you hear so many stories. Oh, this happened. I wish I would have learned this early, or if I would have knew this, then this probably wouldn't have happened. And it's because we like to stay on the creative side versus on the business side, but you have to have both. The second point that I want to make is what I call the illusion of progress, right? Watching tutorials, videos, and gear reviews just gives us a sense of progress. We watch one, we get inspired, we try out that new technique, and then we move on to the next one. It feels like we are growing as producers, and it could be, but in reality, we might just be stuck in a cycle of endless learning without actual execution. Right? So think about it. How many times have you watched a beat tutorial, mixing tutorial, but you never really applied those techniques to finish and release a song? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe not. I'm not saying that you don't, right? I'm just giving you some things to consider as you're sitting there watching that next gear review or that next tutorial, right? The same thing happens with business knowledge, right? We might learn about the music distribution, the music business, branding, networking, but we delay that particular part in thinking that, I just need to get more practice. I just need to be more creative. And we set everything else aside to focus on the creative aspect, right? We put the creativity as the main priority. Now, the problem is that learning new skills feels very productive, even if it doesn't actually lead to actual results. Producers fall into the trap of believing that watching tutorials equates to progress, when in reality, execution is what really matters. The cycle of just one more tutorial, one more gear review, is really just keeps us in the mindset in that busyness phase, but it prevents us from truly growing in our music careers, right? Just, if I'm being honest, just look at your favorite YouTube beat maker. They got tons of subscribers, but go check their discography. Now, you could probably say the same thing for me, right? I don't list my discography on my channel, my We Create Music TV channel, but people who know me know the type of music that I produce, and the artists that I work with know the songs that we put out. Once again, go to your favorite beat maker or producer on YouTube, pull up their discography. I'm just being 100% honest. There's tons of producers out here that focus on just the creative side, but never really truly execute. They never really truly grow their career. Now, the business task, on the other hand, they don't really offer that immediate creative feedback or gratification, and it often leads to delayed results, making it easy for us to really ignore that business perspective, that business side of the music industry, the thing that actually makes our career elevate itself. Now, my third point is the fear of the business side. There's actually people who fear the business side, right? Many producers, the business side can be extremely intimidating. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to learn what? I got to learn sync licensing and publishing and mechanical royalties and copyright laws. All of these things sound complicated. Let's be honest, most of us don't even become producers because we wanted to deal with all the paperwork, right? A lot of people, just the idea of negotiating contracts and sending emails or creating marketing plans and branding statements, and I get it. It can be overwhelming. So we just avoid it altogether. But here's the harsh reality. If we don't understand the business, we're going to get ourselves set up to be taken advantage of. Or worse, we can never make real money, real income, a real career from our music. Once again, is why we hear so many stories of people being taken advantage of, or, I've heard tons of stories of just different things happening from a business perspective that, it just happens. I got a video coming about that too. So you'll see that it's going to be coming out soon, but it probably will be out before this video is out. So if it is, I'll link it somewhere so you can go check it. You can go check that out. But there's a conversation that I've had over the past 5 years with Grammy Award winning, Grammy nominated, multi-platinum, platinum gold producers on just all the business side of it. That's going to be a great one. But anyway, when you really sit back and think about it, how many of you actually know how to register your songs with ASCAP or BMI? You should know that, right? How many of you know how to register your music with Sound Exchange or the MLC to collect the digital royalties that you are owed? How many of you know that there's 2 copyrights to a song? One for the composition and one for the sound recording. Matter of fact, how do you even copyright a song? What's the actual process to ensure that your music is legally protected. How do you do it? Right? What is that process of how to copyright your songs? Can you copyright them one at a time? Can you copyright them in bulk? Where do you go to copyright, right? This is all the things that people need to know that they just don't want to know, and they want somebody else to do it for them so that they can focus on the creative side, right? These are just the type of questions that every one of us, every producer needs to be able to answer. Yet so many of us avoid them because they seem too complex or too intimidating. The truth is, ignoring these doesn't make them go away. It just means somebody else, like a label, distributor, shady business partner, manager, whoever, is just going to take advantage of your lack of knowledge. And trust me, they're going to know, oh, this dude don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I'm being honest, we know the music industry is full of snakes and robbers and all these types of people. Do you want to be the person that gets taken advantage of? Right? I mean, I've talked to many music producers and industry professionals on the podcast, on the Indie Unplugged, and almost every single one of them will tell you, right, the biggest piece of their career for them is that they wish they had known and handled things differently in the beginning. If they had just focused on the business side. Not understanding the business side is the reason so many producers are not progressing as they should. Over and over, I hear stories of producers losing out on money, signing bad deals, simply not knowing how to properly collect their earnings, right? Their royalties. These are just hard lessons, too many lessons, right? But hard lessons that have to be learned the hard way, and why so many producers find themselves stuck despite having the talent. Business topics feel overwhelming. I get it. In my day job, I handle business all day. I understand. They involve legal and financial concepts that can seem complex and unapproachable. Many producers assume that, hey, I can either figure it out later, or I can let somebody else figure it out. I'm gonna give it to my manager. I'm gonna let my label do it, and they're gonna handle it for me, right? A lot of producers have that mindset. A lot of artists, music creatives have that mindset. Unfortunately, this mindset leads to tons of costly mistakes, bad deals, missed royalty payments. A lot of different things can happen if you don't handle the business side. There's also the fear of failure. Producers worry about making the wrong move in the business world. So they sometimes, I'm not saying always, sometimes they avoid learning it just altogether, even though that only increases their risk of being exploited, right? If you don't know something and somebody else knows something and they figure that you don't know something, they're going to try to take advantage of that lack of knowledge that you have in some way, form, or fashion. Not everyone, some people, right? Some people don't have high morals, and so some people may take advantage of that. And so the fourth point that I want to make is about gear acquisition and the search for the perfect sound. I made a whole video, I'll link it up here somewhere, about just gear addiction, right? It's crazy. We tell ourselves that, the next plugin, that next synth, that next drum pack will finally give me the sound that I need. There's always something new. Consumerism is at its highest, trust me, at its highest. And the marketing for music equipment is designed to make a lot of us feel like we're missing out if we don't have the latest tools. Also, you have music producers and content creators all over YouTube that are constantly marketing and promoting the latest piece of gear and equipment from whichever company sent them free equipment to promote on their channel. It makes you feel like you're missing out, right? This adds to that gear addiction and the thought that, well, if such and such producer has this piece of gear and they're promoting it, then maybe I need to have it. Maybe this will make me a better music producer. The reality is many of the promotions are just a part of the business company's strategy and reliance on influence marketer to drive sales, knowing that producers will buy into the hype. We will do it, right? We see the MPC, boom, we get it, right? I guarantee today, if Akai came out with a new MPC Ultra Extreme Mega, somebody somewhere is going to buy that thing. Even though it can probably do the same thing as the MPC X, MPC Key 37, 1 Plus, Live 2, Live 1. Somebody's going to, trust me, somebody's going to do it. Here's the reality though, that new gear, it can be useful in helping you to produce, right? It's not a shortcut to success. It's not going to help you be successful. It just, it really is consumerism, not being just truly honest about the whole thing, right? It may not even be a game changer in mastering what you already have and actually finishing and releasing your music, right? Like I said, I made this entire video discussing this issue that we face as producers, right? You can go check it out. Once again, I'll try to link it up here somewhere. It's called, Are You a Fanatic About Buying New Gear? I bet you have gear acquisition syndrome, gas, right? You got gas, trust me. Because let's be real, many of us, we get caught in that cycle of constantly upgrading, chasing the perfect sound and believing that the next piece of gear, the next piece of equipment, that drum pack that we get, whatever it is, it's going to be the missing link that's going to lead to success. If I make this beat and put it out, somebody's going to hear it. Maybe, maybe not. Not if you don't market it and brand it correctly, they may or may not hear it. But if we're honest with ourselves, how much of this new gear actually results in completed songs? I knew dudes who are making beats still today on the MPC 2000 XL and putting out songs. They ain't got the latest. They're on like MPC 1.4 or something like that. A lot of the homies that I got older equipment still, right? But marketing convinces us that that new gear is the key to success, fueling the cycle of endless purchases rather than real creative growth. Buying new plugins and hardware, it feels like an investment, right? It feels like, oh, I'm buying this thing so that it can help elevate what I do, even if it doesn't lead to us completing music, right? Some producers use gear hunting as a way to procrastinate, right? I mean, it's just that procrastination syndrome that a lot of us have. You know, from that harder, less glamorous work of just finishing the music, promoting the music, releasing the music, and putting it out. The idea of needing better sounds becomes an excuse for delaying the more critical aspects of building a career. And honestly, I mean, that's just really what it is. As I get into this fifth point that I want to make, the algorithm is against us. Platforms like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and X, or whatever you want to call that thing now, they are designed to keep us engaged. If you mostly watch beat making tutorials, gear reviews, plugin breakdowns, the algorithm is going to continue to feed that to you. And if you rarely search for content on marketing and publishing and branding in the music business, you are not going to see those in your recommendations. It's not that the business knowledge is not available. I mean, there's tons of books. I got books and stuff everywhere. It's not that the information is not available. It's all over the internet. It's that most producers aren't actively looking for it. Trust me, I watch a lot of videos. I'm a content creator and I am a consumer. I like to see what's out there and I like to engage in conversation. I can tell you right now, I've seen videos about the music business with 50 comments, and I've seen videos of somebody chopping up a sample with 500 comments. I'm like, that's crazy. Who cares if you can chop up the sample this way? If it never leads to actual finished products, which is probably why you don't see a lot of producers who are actually putting out content, or actually, when I say content, I mean albums and songs, make videos on YouTube, right? Me and my friend, we always talk about this thing. There's the idea that, and I hope I get it right when I say it this way, there is a difference between the two type of people you see on YouTube. There are music creators that make content, and then there are content creators that make music. There is a difference. I can go back and look, just keep that in mind. There are music creators that make content, and there are content creators that make music. Figure out which one you are, right? You got to figure out which one you are in that situation, or even the people that you're watching, right? I mean, breaking this cycle means really making a conscious effort to consume content that helps you just grow beyond just making beats. I mean, have you ever searched, this always trips me out. Have you ever searched for something on Google only for it to show up on Instagram? I'm sure you have. The algorithm is designed to keep feeding you what you tell it, what you're searching for. If you constantly engage with content with the latest plugins and the latest sims and production hacks, and social media platforms are going to continue to feed that to you because they're like, hey, yo, this is what this dude cares about the most. Meanwhile, crucial topics like monetization and copyright and music marketing, they get buried based on your priority. They get buried in the system because you're telling the system that that's not what you're looking for. And so it's not going to help you grow. Social media algorithms are designed to reinforce your viewing habits, making it harder for you to break free from a content bubble. Because if you are a producer that primarily watches gear reviews and tutorials, the platform assumes that that's all you care about, pushing all that business content further out of your reach, further to the side, since branding and marketing videos tend to be less entertaining. And I get it, they are less entertaining. Trust me, as a person who has a background in organizational development, leadership, and training, I get it, right? It's not as exciting as me sitting here pressing pads and talking about, oh, listen to the sound. The beat sounds so amazing and so dope. Yeah, I get it. But I can guarantee you, those individuals are not making the type of music, or at least pushing out the music that you kind of think they are. I'm just being honest, y'all. Like a lot of people just don't be honest with y'all on YouTube. They want you to buy into their products. They want you to buy into who they are as a content creator, not music creator, content creator, right? They want you to buy into that. And they figure making a lot of YouTube videos that continuously feed you that is going to do it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of y'all just like to sit and watch videos of other content creators bash other content creators, or content creators who make music bash music creators who make content. Oh, I can name so many, but this ain't the naming game, right? You probably put me in that category. I don't feel that I am, but I can tell you that there are people who out there like that, who content, they thrive on thrashing other people, gossiping of other music creators, and it just doesn't benefit you in any kind of way. And I get it. Those can be entertaining, right? Those can be fun to watch. But once again, are you going to watch something that is going to help further your career? Even though it may be less entertaining, doesn't get as much engagement, and because of that, it doesn't show up in your recommendations. Many music producers don't even realize how much the algorithm, do I have a problem saying that word? Let me make sure I say that right. Algorithm controls what you learn. And it's all about passive consumption, because they can hold you back from your career growth. To truly level up, you have to be intentional, actively searching for information that doesn't automatically show up in your feeds, right? On your page, on your Instagram, on your YouTube, but it's absolutely critical to your success. I mean, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, making beats is just one part of the equation. The other half, and it's probably the bigger half, maybe in my perspective, you can disagree, put it in the comments. You disagree with what Bvon is saying, what I'm saying, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it, right? Right. The other half of this is really understanding how to monetize and market yourself. I mean, you are a brand. If you've never taken time to learn the business, you're always going to be stuck watching from the sidelines. You're not going to be very participative. You're going to be an observer, wondering why other producers who have far less talent are making their careers flourish, while you're still sitting in the studio, tweaking them little sounds, doing those things, watching that little video, never figuring out why your career is not progressing. Instead of watching gear and tutorial videos all day, challenge yourself to include business education in your routine. For every 3 production videos that you watch, go watch one on branding and publishing or marketing. It just might spark something different. It may not be fun, it may not be exciting, but in the long run, it's going to make the biggest difference. Now, if you're really serious about taking your music career to the next level, whatever level that may be, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to turn on that notification bell. Make sure to like the video, like our channel. I appreciate all of you, but I'm out. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and keep pushing the boundaries of music. I'll catch you in the next video, which is going to be coming soon. Peace.